and I got to say, na 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 na. Life is freaking crazy. Na 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 na. Let's just keep it crazy. Na 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 na.
Yo, what is going on today, guys? My name is DNBROO, and I'm here with a behind-the-scenes look of my latest single, Keep It Wavy. Links in the description. Feel free to check that out. Yeah, go and hop into this. I did do a little bit of organizing to this, and when I say that, I mean I just kind of went through and named everything. That's about it. For all of this stuff here, I kind of kept it how it was, just so you guys could see exactly what my process is and kind of how I was working on it. I'm going to go ahead and break down all the major instruments used in here, then I'll go through each one and I'll just kind of show you the effects that I used to get the sound that I got. So starting off, here's the main instrument, the guitar. And then I added on a snare drum and a kick, or an 808. And then it picks up later on in the song. And then I have a shaker. And then I have a little like bass kind of brass stab. And then this is just a 3x oscillator with white noise. Give you the effects like the whoosh. There it is. Then I have the vocals, and that's it.
Don't you overdo it, I've been looking through it.
Then I have a couple of big snares in there, like this guy. And that's about it. So let's go ahead and go through the breakdown of each sound, and I'll show you how I got it like that. Starting off, I have the guitar here. Go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. Now, originally, I didn't start off with that. I had this right down here. Go ahead and get this guy going. And let's take off all the effects so you guys can see what I was originally working with. So that was the original like sound I was going for. In the end, I didn't end up making it. And it got cut out. I took one of the guitar plucks out of there, and I made a nice little pluck in the Fruity sampler, just kind of dropped it in, and now I have keyboard control. And then I went through here, and I added some effects to it, as you guys can see here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn these off, and then I'll just show you how I got it the way it is. Alright, so first off, I have little altar boy here. Now, I have the pitch turned all the way up and nothing else. A little bit of drive, that's about it though. And that's where you get this sound. Then, I did have the formant all the way up originally, but let's go ahead and play this. And there's a little like noise on there that I wasn't too fond of. So, what I did was instead I used auto pitch formant. I formatted it all the way down. That's the only thing I'm using on here. Then you get this. It's a much smoother kind of drive, and it sounds nice. Then I just took a Fruity compressor, and I compressed it a little bit. Next up is just a little bit of reverb. I'm using TAL Reverb 4 here. Here's the settings, and with that on, you're going to hear this. That sounds good. Reverb's a little long there, but after that I put an OTT and compressed it even more, turned down the depth just a little bit. What that does is it makes it stand out a lot. Then I just took a parametric EQ and I cut off right around the 250, 500 mark, cut off all the low frequencies, and then around the highs I cut off a little bit of those. And then you're left with that sound. Then the last thing I did was I just did this little dip here. Now this only activates here at the beginning, right here. That's because at the beginning, when it's just the only instrument playing, after everything's been mixed and mastered, it really adds a lot of harshness, so I cut that down here in the production stage, help myself out later on. Next, we're going to go here to the drums. It's a real simple pattern, not too fancy. And then it picks up later on. Now, on the 808, I do have an EQ here. I cut off a lot of the low frequencies here because when it came to compressing everything and mixing everything later, it just worked out to do it at this stage. And then on the snare, all I have is a small filter, and I don't think that changes at all during the entire mix. I think that just stays there. Go back to the hats, real simple. And then all I did was edit some of the velocity of here, and I think a little bit of the panning. No, just the velocity. So I just kind of give it like a little bit of bounce. And it sounds real nice. So if we put that with the drums, what you're going to hear is this. Next up, we're going to have the brass stab. That was made on a serum here. And what I did was I just put a saw wave, a little bit of unison, a little bit of a detune. And then I have a modulator here that's affecting this low pass filter, as well as the distortion over here with a little bit of reverb, actually a lot of reverb, and then a lot of compression as well. Yeah, compressing it to the max. And then on the effects chain, we take those off, what you're going to hear is this. Now that's nice, but it's not really enough. So I cleaned up the EQ. But then I realized that the reverb was kind of lacking, so I added a little bit of reverb on there. And we have that. All this is doing here, this is just our delay input volume, you could say. So back here on the guitar sample, as this is playing, all it does is just kind of throw in some delay. Going to the vocals, here's what I started with. Don't you overdo it, I've been looking through it, thinking about all of the times that we hung out, chilling it down. And then on the vocals here, I have a limiter, which is actually not being limited. I'm just using the visual compressor part of it. In the envelope, it looks like this. Compressor looks like this. This is about 2.9, and then our threshold's very low. I wanted to make sure to get these nice and tight. And then here, I added a smaller ratio with a little lower threshold, and then also a noise gate on the very end of it. And then I have a multiband compressor here. Now this is mainly just focusing on the highs here, so we can actually just bypass these. Don't you overdo it. And what this is doing is it's taking the high frequencies and it's just kind of smushing them down and making them a little bit louder, because that's where a lot of the life of the vocals are. So I made sure to give extra emphasis on that. Then I added an OTT with this much depth, 28% depth, and then that gives you this. Don't you overdo it, I've been looking through it, thinking. Then I added a de-esser. This is a Tonnmann De-esser, free de-esser. Here's the kind of the settings that I use for. Don't you overdo it, I've been looking through it, thinking about all of the times that we hung out. That just helps keeps the sibilance on the vocals from becoming too much. Then I exported it, turned off all of these, and then I added this fruity EQ, and then also this reverb. And that leaves you with... Don't you overdo it, I've been looking through it, thinking about all of the times that we hung out, chilling it down, sitting there on the couch, passing the controller when you die on that round. And then I added in some background, or some backing vocals. Easy days, I'm saying easy days. These, I auto-tune them to the max, and then if we go back here to the backing vocals. Easy. Another couple compressors, same sort of format. This one's heavily compressing it, while this one's slightly less compressing it. About it. I'm probably over compressing these, but oh well. And then here in the fruity parametric EQ, I have this sort of setup going on. And then a filter. I don't think this is being used, but I ended up using it anyways. And then another Tonnmann De-esser right there. Easy days, I'm saying easy days, and I'm saying easy ways. Things that we've been through are always pretty great, like. And if you go over to here, there's some more backing vocals. Gotta go one day at a time, looking for love on an uphill climb. And those just kind of add a little bit more presence to the vocals. We just gotta go one day at a time, looking for love on an uphill climb. Lovely days, I'm. Go ahead and talk about the white noise too before I go. So here's the white noise. And the only thing I did to that was I put this sort of EQ on there. Looking back, I'd probably take a little bit more off the end, but not going to change it now. Then I have this filter that's also being changed there through this guy. And that just kind of gives us our background effect. Things that we've been through were always pretty great, like. As for the big room, like snare. That one only has an EQ that looks like this. Then towards the bridge here, I do have a kick and a snare going
like
with an open hat. And that's it. No real major effects on that. Putting everything together, you're ending up with a song like this. Alright guys, thank you for tuning in to this behind the scenes look of Keep It Wavy. If you guys think I did something wrong, feel free to leave a comment. If you guys learned something, feel free to leave a comment. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, just pop it in the comments down there. Be sure to reply to you there. Thank you for hanging out, and I will catch you next time. Later.
And I got to say, na 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 na. Life is freaking crazy. Na 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 na. Let's just keep it crazy. Na 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 na. Life is freaking crazy. Na 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 na. Let's just keep it crazy. Life is freaking crazy. Let's just keep it crazy.